Hey everybody, gonna try to finish out the details in the line art. I'm gonna draw those two computers, so I'm gonna sort of bring back this second pass sketch and then bring those computers up. Also have to change a couple details on the characters, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna get here in pass 4, and then this character has a little anime tooth, so we'll just quickly get that one in. Use a thin line to make sure it's not like too black. How hard is it to make an anime tooth? Let's just make that. There we go. Do we want the top layer of teeth to kind of show as well? Yeah, something like that. I think that's okay. Yeah, something like that. That's okay. And then this character is wearing shorts, not a skirt. So, I mean, they're short shorts, so I'm not going to really change too much. Just kind of try to, I guess, find where the crotch is and then make it like look like shorts, like it's hugging the leg here. So nothing too complicated, just like a quick change like that. I think that will pretty much suffice as far as turning this from a skirt to short shorts. Let's see. I keep touching the brush opacity here. Don't want to draw too much attention with the line weight here. Just keep it simple. That's pretty much good right there. Make sure the fabric kind of hugs, I guess, right here. And then I guess maybe you'll get a seam on the side, on this side, and maybe some tighter, maybe some lines to make it look like it's sort of stretching near the waist, or it's near the hip right there. And then let the fabric hug a little bit more on this side. I think that's probably good. Do I want to put a seam like right here on the border? No, not really. I don't think we need that. So we'll just change this angle of this a little bit, but I think that's pretty much does the job. I'm not really sure if I got the crotch in the right place. I guess it would be kind of like right there. Yeah, that pretty much does the job. Don't want to get too particular in that area. Yeah, the shorts are black anyway, so it's just going to be mostly silhouette. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it. Okay, so we changed it from a skirt to shorts, got that anime tooth in there. Now we can draw those little laptops. So I'm gonna dim this a little bit, again that 4 other layer, bring up the 2 layer, and we're just gonna quickly draw without much detail 2 laptops. So I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm just gonna bring this down, stay in the 4 other layer, and then just get some lines in. I'm not going to worry too much about the detail of this. It might be cool to have one of them like a square and then one of them a circle, like if they're going to have some lights on the back or something. I'm going to make sure I have full arm extension so I can get a nice straight line. How do laptops fold? It's just pretty much like that, right? I should know. I sell laptops at work. Oh my gosh, I accidentally undid too many times. Something like this. I'm just gonna keep it exceedingly simple. Do we want to plug in there with a wire? No, let's not even worry about a wire. Let's just put maybe some slots here on the side, you know, HDMI, USB-C, power slot, whatever. Just keep it super simple. Yep. Get this angle going. And let's get some keyboard keys in there. Let's, I guess, just add it in the form of a silhouette. Like that. Yeah, something simple like that. Not too detailed. And then we'll let it sit on a table here. So we'll just draw a big line here with line weight that it's sitting on a table. Or a desk. Really need to get these lines looking right. And then a foot of the desk. Gonna end up covering her crotch area anyway, so that's fine. There's a desk. I think the table of the leg table should be a little bit more thin. We'll get the color of the desk nice and dark, so it acts more of a silhouette of a laptop. Let this line converge down a little bit more for perspective, but a nice deep line weight there. So same thing down here. Let's get a nice shape of a laptop. Right there. I was starting to mention in the previous video that I have 4 jobs, and I kind of went off on a tangent from there talking about Apple. But so what else do I do? I'm a substitute teacher. I substitute for 2 different school districts and also a set of charter schools in my nearby area. So that alone in itself is already, I guess, technically 3 jobs. But they're all kind of the same in the sense that, you know, I just take over for a teacher or a yard duty or whatever. A lot of special education aid roles. I don't have a teaching credential, a substitute teaching credential. If I did get one, even then I don't think I would quit my job at Apple, even if it would pay better over the course of a day, because I get a lot of benefits with my main employer. Even as a part-timer, I get decent benefits, so it's like very much worth it to stay with that, and maybe, I suppose, try to get promoted within that company. Climbing the corporate ladder, if you will. Never thought I would be really interested in having a career like that, but I mean, it's a great company, and it would benefit me a lot if I were to get promoted in my current place that I work. So, but we're gonna stay open, just whatever, you know, serves my family the best, because again, the jobs are not about me, not about my success, but about how I can be a good steward of those resources and pay it forward to my family, so that my sons and my wife can have the goods of freedom and autonomy and whatever it is they want to pursue in their life, and hopefully that they pursue the good. But that's up to them, and I do want to preserve their autonomy and their choose and that they choose. And if they choose, my sons, if they choose, you know, bad things, detrimental things, then it will be revealed to them that, okay, they're bad. These choices are bad, known as bad choices for a reason. And then we can move from autonomy to real purpose. So that is the move. The important move to make. Let's go ahead and get a leg of the table down here. I might even put in like some kind of structure for the table. Something like that. Yeah, why not? Might put it on the other table too. You know, something like this. Just so we know we have a table. So that's pretty good. Am I going to make this one a circle? Usually computers have some kind of logo on the back. Make this one a square or diamond. Why not? Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, this is where we jump into color. So we're going to start with just base colors with not really a border. Well, with a border, and then we use alpha locks or clipping masks. So I'm going to remove now all the sketch layers. Maintain the 4 and other and 4, and I'm actually going to merge them. But before I do that, I'm going to take the layer 4 and just erase out. In this case, I think it's fine to erase anything that's behind the table. No need to keep that information. I mean, this commission is a one and done. We're almost done with it. So I think I'm okay with kind of destroying some some work here. We're serving the purpose of finishing this piece. Okay. So that looks good. Erase some of the leg there. Same thing on this side. Oh, I want to finish the table here, actually, on the other side. Yeah. Let's finish the table on the other side. 4 other. Table continue to about right here. And then this one would go this way. This one would go this way. And then we'll get in this layer, start erasing out the stuff that's behind the table. And then we'll start to work in our color silhouette. Okay, so I do substitute teaching, a lot of special ed aid positions, open up every day. It's flexible work. It doesn't pay too much per hour, and it's slightly better than the other thing I do, which is Uber Eats. It only pays better per active hour minus gas. So overall, the net pay for Uber Eats is really not good. It's just supplemental for me. It's something I do in my spare time if I'm out working and I don't have anything else to do. I don't have any commissions like this. I used to kind of let these commissions get interrupted by Uber but now I've calculated it so that these commissions are worth more per hour than Uber Eats, depending on how long I take. So now I have a way of calculating. Do I want to turn on Uber and wait while I'm drawing this, or do I want to just focus on this? So I'm at a point right now where this particular piece is worth it to just work on and not have Uber Eats on, at least until the price of a commission starts to dip below $19.20 an hour because I'm taking too long. So, but it's all flexible work. I have a main job, which is part-time. Substitute teaching, I can take jobs any day that I want to because there's always open work, at least throughout the school year, and the summer's over, so there's always open work. And then Uber Eats is always open as well because I can just move into any busy area. Even at night, I'm finding which areas might have some activity. You know, some grocery stores are open. There's a lot of stores open late that will be serving food still. So flexible work. And just trying to make sure that I'm doing the stuff that pays the best, gives me the most benefits, and pursuing, higher education and a more lucrative career in accounting and finance. Okay, so do we want to increase the chest size here? I think maybe slightly. I think we will, just because the original, drawing, the original model, it was quite big, I guess. Okay, so yeah, that looks a little bit more true to it. Okay, there we go. That's good. Okay, so now here, we're gonna do the method that I saw from that Tara fellow, where I'm just gonna make a layer like this. I'll call it color or base. And I'm just gonna do gray. I'm gonna use my brush, Opus Color 2. I'm gonna use this brush. Just gonna do a middle gray and just brush it all in. Here's what I'll do. I'll do the borders and then color drop. Here's the thing. There were ways to do this in Krita that were much faster than this, which I have not discovered a strong particular way to do this besides using the lasso fill tool. But I think, kind of painting it in and not really zooming out too much, it might be faster because it keeps it more loose, I guess. I think I will do this entire area even with the laptop. Gonna erase things kind of as I go, as I notice them. Right here, erase that. Here's what we'll do. We're going to start with the middle gray, and we're going to build grayscale. I normally don't do grayscale, but I'm going to try the method that I learned from that Tara guy, where we just focus on value, and then I'm going to use an overlay layer to color it. So it's going to make it hopefully save time, is what I'm hoping. And then I might just merge that layer and then paint over it once we have that. So grayscale and overlay is the strategy we're going to use. I've never really done this. You know, it makes the colors a little bit muted from what I saw, but it might work out. And then, okay, so that's 3 jobs. There's retail, there's substituting, there's Uber, and there's school, where I'm studying accounting. And then there's this, which I want to take off the best, but it's obviously that makes me the least amount of money. It would be a different case if I was still getting a lot of commissions. There was a time where I was really getting a lot. Charging low for commissions. I mean, I still can charge low, and I would just have to manage my time properly. I can still charge low. If you hearing this want to pay me $5 to draw something, I'll do it. But I just need to make sure I manage the time properly. I'll do it, but I'll just make sure, to be fair to myself, I'll do it in like 10 minutes, $5 for a 10-minute drawing? That sounds fine to me. Because knocking out 6 of those would be, 30 an hour. And not, that's around the price that I'm trying to scale to. When I'm at anime convention, I can make 60 an hour. But that's minus the cost of print, minus the cost of table, stuff like that. So, and that's minus the cost of advertising, because at an anime convention I don't have to worry about foot traffic. I do want to add a black line here for the shoulder part, because it kind of disappeared. Yeah, there we go. All this will be gray. Once this border is complete, we'll run the color drop. I don't necessarily know if it would be that much faster in Krita. I mean, I believe it would be, just because the lasso fill tool is so good. I know Ibis Paint has it, but we're just going to do this method. Is the border complete? Nope. Where are we missing? You always got to look for the holes. There we go. So I want to do threshold now. Just kind of stretch the threshold so that it kind of fills completely. There we go, like that. And then just kind of fill in anywhere that's missing. Okay. I do like that part of the fill tool in Procreate, where you can change the threshold pretty easily and fill in those blanks. Whereas in Krita, you had to manually type in a setting of the tolerance, and you couldn't like easily drag from left to right to change that. So that's a really good feature in Procreate, the color drop. So again, just kind of going through the whole thing here, and might as well do the letters. Maybe do the letters after. Okay. But yeah, I want to push for excellence in any and all of these. There's only so much you can do with Uber, right? Because you're limited by so many factors when you're doing Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever, Spark. I mean, the prices are set for, the delivery, the product. I mean, you're like the way I've been describing it is like the final stage of shipments, like the final stage of trucking, the final stage of shipping. You know, you're the delivery guy, the last delivery guy, you know, from warehouse to store to kitchen to bag to the person's home. There's a lot of hands, I suppose, that touch the food in the process. That was a terrible way to describe it, but there's a lot of people involved. You're that final piece, and people will pay a little extra to get that delivery rather than picking it up themselves. But because of that, everything is so bottlenecked and calculated as far as funds go. Fortunately, California has Prop 22, so that I don't have to think too much when doing Uber Eats, because they've protected my income in the sense that I'm more of a contractor, and I have to earn 20%, a minimum wage plus 20%, so that's $19.20 at the very least during active driving time. So that's not, and again, that's not including non-active driving time, like waiting time, and that's also minus gas. So again, so Uber Eats is a great way for someone who really is desperate for money, just to, you know, have some kind of activity. You know, it's consistent in the sense that if you're posted up in the right places, you'll always find work, no matter what time of day. I suppose like 2, 3, 4 in the morning might be more inactive because most people are going to be sleeping at that point. But I mean, last night I got a delivery at midnight, kind of a spooky place. So I took the food to a truck yard, and there were like stray dogs roaming around the truck yard. And I thought, okay, if I get in my car, they might like attack me or something. But you know, just finished the job, delivered it. I wonder how Uber would compensate me if dogs were to attack me on the job. That would be interesting. Now for teaching, obviously that can also be scaled to very high levels. And there is a career path in teaching. Let's say I get a sub-credential, I like the job, and then I want to get a real teaching credential, maybe even a master's and doctorate, and teach at a college or something. There's a certain pathway in that field, which is very feasible. Does it interest me? Maybe a little bit, but not that much. I think there are other things that I would like to do. Now, the idea of accounting, like sitting and doing spreadsheets and, you know, calculations and stuff, it sounds pretty bland, but it's not for me, because what is accounting? I mean, you're keeping track of financial decisions, economic decisions, and those are done by people who are in the interest of making or preserving or saving more money. And that's important. That's very important. And to be a part of that process is something I think would be really good for me and really good at good service for others. So even something as simple as tax preparation, something I could do for businesses, high income people. I don't know, but I would have to take a lot of time, you know, researching and getting into a firm or whatever, or starting my own business in that. And that's a whole another thing that we will, another challenge we will meet in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and make a line going this way. You know what? I'll just draw it in. Okay, I'm gonna border the V. My time limit on this piece was 6 hours and 20 minutes total. I don't remember what is in my spreadsheet was creating that number, but that was my time limit. I'm at 4 and something. I think I'm nearing 5. So I want to make sure I do this technique fairly quickly. And I think we can. Because again, we're just going to be doing value and overlays. So we're going to create our value scale, use our eyedropper to select colors in it, and just shade. We are getting there. Okay, I think that's good. And compositionally, this does look fine. There's a little bit empty on the top left, but that's fine. Looks good. So now, here we go. So we're going to take this base color, change the brightness a little bit lighter overall. The desks will probably be darker. But here's what we'll do. We'll take our black and a white and just brush this in. Light color, brush this in. And get a mid-gray, brush this in. Just sort of brush in. And then we're going to smudge these together to create our value scale. Just kind of smear it together, I suppose. Let's use circular strokes too. Just kind of mix it around a little bit more. And then again, go from here. Let's get some more black in there. Kind of lost the black as I was smudging. So, there. Okay, so we have a value scale. Let's split them up. Let's split them up. Let's get very particular now. Let's see, 1. Why is it not selecting? There. 2. Wait, so core shadow, this will be form shadow. This will be reflected light, will be kind of right in here. This will be midtones right in here. And then highlights will be this or pretty much white. I think this could all be a little bit lighter. So we'll adjust that lightness as well again. There, like that. So I'm going to take our midtone color. We'll start with the midtone. So I'm going to color drop the whole thing. There. Now we'll take our form shadow color. So this is where we do a 2-value scale to start. And keep it very simple. Use a big brush here. We will turn on the alpha lock now. This is where we just want to find strong shadows. I think it's just going to be let's see. Is it going to be, I mean, it should be a little bit of top lighting, a little bit of front lighting too. This form shadow color is really dark. It's okay. I guess we'll just keep it. Down here it's just going to be a general shadow. We want to think a little bit of rib cage here. Just a little bit. And then down here, just going to be finding general areas where there's going to be shadow. We'll take our time with this, right? Is there any need to rush? Not really. The more precision, I mean, I used, time and passes and precision in the sketch up to the line art, and it turned out well. So same with this, we'll keep it very general, get the big shadows first. Speaking of big shadows first, we'll just get in here, underneath the coat. Underneath here, underneath the legs. And I guess the table might be casting a shadow just kind of all around the leg here. Here there would be a shadow. And here it would actually be blank because I don't think there's any leg right there. Let's get a general darkness on the desk. So we're gonna color that whole thing dark. Okay, let's color drop in there. Whoa! I guess we'll just fill it in. Okay, same thing down here. Banter game is going away, folks. Losing energy, maybe. I don't know. I still got a couple more hours to work, so I gotta keep my energy up. Sometimes I don't maximize the amount of hours I'm taking that I have available to me to work on this kind of stuff, but we can do it. I mean, if I have a couple more hours, I should be able to finish this today. Yeah, like that. That's fine. Let's get this part very bright. This band right here. Turn the alpha lock back on. There. Okay. Okay. So we'll solidify the cast shadow, the form shadow right under here, under the chest. Make it one color. We don't want to do too much rendering in it just yet. Shadow right in here, inside the coat. Shadow on the inside. This one is not shadow. In the hair, yeah, there will be form shadows. Be quite a few of them. So let's find them. And we're gonna take our time in this. I want to save the overlay for last. I don't want to just jump in and then do an overlay and then start finding the colors, because what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna end up painting over the overlay because it might be too desaturated. But so we'll keep going with this. Get it really precise on the shadows and locations of shadows until we feel satisfied with where we're at. Not trying to worry about any rendering right now. Just want to make a solid places where there would be form shadows. This is not right, so hold on, let me kind of bring this up a little bit. I suppose this would be a soft edge, wouldn't it? So let me smudge instead right here. This would be like a firm edge, but this would be a soft edge. I might even bring it up a little bit more. Soft edge. But then finding the rib cage. Again, gonna really try not to concern myself too much with rendering. Okay. Let's find some more. Definitely will be shadow in here. Fully dark. And then under the hand, yeah. Okay. Find shadows right under here, on the wrist. I'm finding a lot of cast shadows that I'm doing with the core shadow form shadow tool. Color. So some of these have too many soft edges. We'll keep them hard edges, like right about here. Yeah, that looks fine. Maybe bring it up a little bit more over here. Okay. How's that look? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. A lot of shadow under the leg here, but I think that's okay. Under the skirt here. A little bit more right here. There's should be some cast shadow here. Okay, again, just finding shadows. Trying to get around the chest there. This one, not really sure if that whole area would have cast shadow. I suppose so. Okay. That looks pretty okay. Might jump to the other character and come back to her. We can start like rendering a bit more. Yeah, render a little bit in here in the ears. Okay, again, we're still keeping it general, trying to keep it at 2 values. So, and I really try not to jump ahead of myself. So, here, crotch would have some shadow right under there. Under here. Okay. This time lapse is going to be really interesting when it's ready. This process is a lot more structured. Still, you know, not ideal, but a lot more structured than what I've been doing. Striving towards some kind of ideal. Get a firm edge right here. Still trying not to render too much. Over here, definitely get a cast shadow. Under the braids. Under the hair. Speaking of under the hair, we can probably get some right around here. You know, it's been a long time since I've used grayscale to color piece, and a lot of my old best past work was done using, you know, grayscale and then coloring over it, or at least using a multiply layer. But I've always like wanted to just pick colors well, but I don't have the training to, I don't have the chops to do it. So I gotta trust the process of learning, really. Get a soft edge over here. Again, not trying to worry too much about soft and hard edges just yet, just mostly trying to do hard edges, which is the staple in anime, cell shading, hard edges. Okay. Making good progress. I mean, it looks a lot better, you know, having that shadow color on there. Yeah, it's looking okay. There's a lot to do. I'm still, you know, I can still kind of see that demonstration from that guy who did the armored figure. Just gotta be patient. Speaking of patient, though, I mean, I've gone a long time without too much talking, and I probably can take another fresh look at this and maybe take a break. So I think I'm going to do that. Again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for always thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye-bye.